You know, the LGD China team have probably been together for a little bit longer, and so maybe they're a little bit more practiced. Their game sense is a little bit more developed as a team and things like that. But anyway, welcome to this game. As always, I am Baseskip. This is going to be G League Game 3 of our best of 3 set between LGD International, who are going to be over on the Dire side. They're going to have second pick this time around, and LGD China, who are going to be over on the Radiant side, starting off with first pick, and actually starting off the bans here with the TA. So, interesting to see, sort of recently, Star Series 4, we didn't see a lot of Templar Assassin. She made it all the way through the pool, and then she made it all the way off the edge without being picked. But for now, I guess LGD is still favoring her. Well, both LGDs may be favoring her quite heavily. Bat hasn't made it through at any point in either of these games. And LGDs, see what they ban. Misery's been playing quite well. LGD trying to see what they ban. I mean, Misery's been playing quite well on the Chen, and the Enchantress couldn't connect the early game aggression with the Enchantress. It was maybe a little bit too telegraphed there in game 1, but game 2 with Chen just finding those pickoffs, and I guess again mind games. They weren't really expecting an early game aggressive Chen from LGD International, and we're actually going to see the Nyx finally banned out here. So G might have to find a different hero this game. He's been running that Nyx on mid, in fact, so a little bit unusual from LGD.int. We do normally see him playing, or see the Nyx playing a little bit more of a supportive role, sort of in defensive tri-lanes or aggressive tri-lanes. Sven is going to be banned out one more time here by LGD.int. Not sure if either team has any pocket strats or anything like that they're going to be falling back on. LGD.int might just be looking to keep the front foot forward, try and put that early game aggression on again, maybe try a meld of the two styles that they contributed in game 1 and game 2. Game 2 I think was a little bit more calculated, and it caught LGD.cn a little bit off guard. Game 1 was super telegraphed, quite easy to see that they were going for the early game aggression, and in the end that duo lane down on bot really got shut down. So LGD China, what's their first pick going to be? They've been picking up the Magnus quite heavily. It worked out well for them in game 1, I want to say, and game 2 not working out all that fantastically, and actually falling back on the Lone Druid again. So it's just going to be safe style Dodo for them. I mean, last game we saw the Lone Druid struggling just to try and get that Radiance up, but the time he had it finished, LGD were already knocking on their doorstep, waiting to push up onto the barracks. And Lone Druid, he's great when he finds the space provided by the other heroes on your team, but they just couldn't find it. The push pressure and just the team fights were absolutely relentless from LGD.int. Probably finding a little bit better of the draft as well. And then again, it looked like they were drafting a really safe defensive lineup. They turned it on its head and went aggressive with the Chen. So LGD.cn gonna fall back on the Lone Druid. LGD.int might opt for some aggression here. Again, try and shut down the game, in fact, before the Lone Druid can become relevant. Though, we did see game 1, they went over aggressive. Their picks were perhaps too obvious in terms of going for pickoffs. LGD China are now back on the Radiant side, so they do have that Radiant safe lane to sort of turtle up in a bit. We saw DK playing a very defensive style where they completely ignored their off lane and then just did Ancients and their own jungle and stayed safe in that area. But 4Love were able to break through that quite convincingly with a Nature's Prophet pick and things like that. And LGD.int looks like they're going to be going on the aggressive, opting to pick up the Night Stalker here. So we're going to see some competitive Night Stalker play, and something that I've wanted to see again for a little while. I was going to bring up the Night Stalker in terms of heroes that could, well, this is going to sound like I'm trying to talk myself up, but I was going to bring up the Night Stalker in terms of LGD China trying to find space for the Lone Druid. He's a fantastic ganker. If you start to lose map control, then he really just starts shutting everyone down, and a hero like the Night Stalker can buy you enough space for the Lone Druid to farm. And Darkseer also going to be picked up here by LGD.int. Looks like they might just be running maybe a relatively safe sort of mid-gamey carry up on their safe lane. Could be the Brewmaster, in fact. Night Stalker probably going to be on mid, though not sure who he's facing up against just yet. The Lone Druid isn't a bad match against him. And Night Stalker could be up on the safe lane as well, especially with Poles running, would be finding sort of a similar level of XP similar level of XP that he would be finding on mid, but LGD.cn not going to leave the Brewmaster in the pool. They're going to opt to pick up the Shadow Demon and Brew in this game. And Brew, as far as heroes go, again, I guess another hero that sort of has a ticket to being overpowered, right? Night Stalker, you accept that he's weak during the day, and then he becomes a monster during the nighttime. And Brewmaster, with that really long cooldown ultimate, does sort of the same thing. Whenever that ultimate is off cooldown, it's absolutely ridiculous. You should be able to find a few pickoffs regardless, and really relying on that Brewmaster to maybe free up some space here. They could try and form an aggressive tri-lane with the Shadow Demon and the Brewmaster, and it's going to be Chen picked up one more time here by LGD.int, not banned out. So we'll see if Misery can connect that early game aggression one more time. Maybe looking for those, well, maybe looking for some lucky creeps. Again, he did start off with a Centaur in that last game. So Luna's going to be banned out. I mean, LGD.int could just transition straight into a push strategy right now. Again, if they're looking to try and lock this game out before the Lone Druid becomes relevant, and, you know, just to try and play against LGD China, maybe they need to try and find something unusual, draft LGD.cn into a weird position with maybe not enough counter push, and then pick up some strong pushing supports, things like that, to round out their lineup. The Rasta and the Leshrac do both remain in the pool as well. And yeah, I mean, LGD China are quite defensive at the moment. They've got some good damage from the Brewmaster, but Shadow Demon is primarily defensive support. He's got control. Lone Druid needs quite a bit of space to farm. Would be nice to maybe see some more heroes that can buy them that space, or just, you know, fight straight back against whatever LGD.int are going to be going for. I mean, LGD.int could try and take this ultra late. They've got the Chen probably guaranteeing them a mid-game XP and gold advantage, but wouldn't be surprised to see them right now just opt into a push strategy. Maybe ban out something like the Keeper of the Light, ban out those really strong counter pushers. And as I say that, Coddle is the ban. This might be a bit of a signal to LGD China that they need to switch up their draft, pick up a counter pusher, because off the back of that Chen, I think it's going to be a strong push from LGD.int. Again, Lesh and the Rasta do both stay in the pool. The Serpent Wards and the Edicts, great at bringing down towers. So we'll see if that's the direction that they're swinging in right now. So Rubik's being banned out, so that's one more support. LGD.int may be still looking for that one sort of standard support at the moment, though it could, again, still just be the Leshrac or the Rasta for a push strategy. If they're looking for something really weird, they could maybe go for Pugna or something like that, even more tower damage. I mean, they're going to be fine to tank up the creeps and wipe out the waves with Darkseer and Chen, but they don't really have that raw damage on the towers just yet. And we saw quite a good push from them last game, but a lot of that was based on the Lunar Blessing aura from the Luna, which they're not going to have the option of getting in this game. So LGD, what are they going to ban? Are they going to try and ban out a pusher? Again, I think LGD.int may be getting a little bit of the upper hand in the draft right now. I mean, they've got good early game aggression, early to mid game aggression from the Night Stalker. They've got the potential to transition into a push. They've still got the potential to try and pick up sort of a late game carry. If LGD.cn don't pick up enough AoE, they could go for a Phantom Lancer or something like that. They're putting themselves in a great position to get a last pick that works. So for now, I think I have to give the advantage to them, sort of in terms of the draft. LGD.int, what's it going to be? Maybe just ban out another counter pusher. Perhaps ban out the Jakiro. Does combo up quite well with the Shadow Demon, but they are, again, running a little bit light on the damage. So LGD.cn might look to pick up the Leshrac or the Lini here for themselves. It would be a good combo with the Shadow Demon, and perhaps denying that Leshrac to LGD.int a little bit as well. But LGD.int, what's the ban going to be? We will have to see. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone see a good counter pusher banned. I mean, they've already taken care of the Coddle. He's probably the biggest in the game. And Windrunner are going to be banned out as well, so we won't see any power shot spam. It is probably the most powerful, I guess the most powerful non-ultimate nuke in the game is sort of how I want to consider it. But anyway, Lina's actually going to be the pick for LGD.cn. So they leave the Leshrac in the pool. LGD.int going to be happy to pick that one up. And I guess one mark for Basecap actually predicting something for once. So it looks like LGD.int just turning this straight into a push. Lina's got some good counter push of her own. And they managed to pick up a little bit of AoE as well. But what's it going to be? And it looks like I just unpaused some music there. So sorry about that. That's a little bit weird. Not sure how I succeeded with that, but anyway. Maybe that was playing faintly this whole time and nobody just noticed. Beastmaster's going to be picked up, so they've got some axe spam coming their way as well to try and keep the defensive lines up. But a lot of heroes that sort of rely on their ultimates between the Beastmaster and the Lena, and if this early game push pressure comes from LGD.int, they're really going to be relying on that Brewmaster ultimate to try and win them team fights. And again, LGD.int, a lineup right now that isn't very dependent on long cooldowns. They do have the Hand of God and the Wall, but Night Stalker is on a completely different cycle altogether from sort of having a long cooldown ultimate. Is it going to be one more pusher to round us off? In terms of lanes, not sure what we're going to be seeing. It's actually going to be Lycan. If you're looking for a pushing carry, look no further. And this is it. This is the push strat from LGD.int. I'm not sure if LGD.cn are in a great position to try and deal with this. They've got some good spammable counter push, but it's going to require bringing multiple heroes to a single lane. They don't have any single defender like the Keeper of the Light or something like that. So anyway, over on LGD.int, it's going to be Brax playing the Darkseer. Misery is going to be on this Chen. 1437 playing the Leshrac this game. G is going to be the Night Stalker, so it looks like it is going to be a solo mid Night Stalker heading towards that Bottle Rush. Pycat going to be on the Lycanthrope. We've got a pause, but still just running over who's playing what. DDC is going to be on this Shadow Demon. Sylar is going to be on the Lone Druid. We're going to have Zhao 8 on the Beastmaster. SC or DD, whatever you want to call him, is going to be on the Lena. And Yao is going to be playing the Brewmaster. Maybe a few more lag issues or something like that at the start of this game. We'll have to see. Or maybe some key bindings. Something like that. We'll have to see. But again, yeah, this is the push strat from LGD.int. Not sure if LGD China are in a great position to try and react to it. And my window is not closed, so sorry about the road noise a little bit there. Again, LGD.cn, they picked up the Lone Druid extremely early. They need him to get farmed. They need him to have enough space for his Radiance so they can try and recover back, pull back whatever towers that they've already lost. And for now, it's a defensive game for them. They got a defensive support in the Shadow Demon. They can look for pickoffs with the Lena. The Beastmaster is probably going to get a little bit of farm, but we might even just see this turtle, this really defensive strategy from LGD China right now. Don't send anyone up to the off lane. Just have the Beastmaster perhaps jungling through these two lanes here and just having everyone in very close proximity of these four towers. LGD.int have great push, but they didn't opt to pick up any global mobility or anything like that, like the Nature's Prophet, who can just so easily push down towers and things like that if your team is able to take an engagement 4v5. So looks like the go is going to be called, and we are underway with this game. Again, this is the final game of our best of 3 set between these two teams. LGD China taking game 1 in very convincing fashion, sort of flipping the over-aggression from LGD.int on its head, and LGD.int turning their own draft a little bit on its head in game 2 with a few mind games and things from the Chen. And looks like we've just got a few bats gathering outside, so I'm going to close the window. So I'll try and cut out a little bit of that ambient noise, so sorry about that. And yeah, LGD.int, what are you doing with these lanes? It's actually Pycat down on bot for now. I mean, if they get a Chen creep, they could probably use the wolves to try and kill off these ancients a few times, get a little bit of XP and some levels from that. And yeah, we've got Brax up on top for now. And 1437 just camping out on mid. We've got some sentry wards picked up. I think I should just have a quick run over skills and early item builds. So we've got some sentries for DD. We've got 1 ward already down for the Radiant and 1 down for the Dire. That ward was not spotted out. So it looks like Chen put that down from the low ground, but the sentry is already down. So it looks like that ward is going to be dewarded. And Sylar, nothing too exciting for him. Zhao not being pulled anything. He's actually just heading straight towards a Bottle Rush. So it looks like Sylar is going to be taking mid. The Bottle Crow is going to be run for Zhao up on top. And right now, LGD.int, everyone just grouped up for now. We've got G as expected heading towards mid. We've got an Observer Ward down to try and keep him safe. They already did lose one of their obs, unfortunately, down on bot, so no tabs on that lane. 3 heroes waiting up on the high ground right now, but they don't have an easy setup stun for the Leshrac. What did they find as their first creep? It's an Ursa. Not bad there, but Misery already just using that first stomp. The Ursa does have 3 as opposed to the Centaur's 2, I believe, so not all that bad to help use it, clean out the camp there. And does mean that he'll be able to get onto perhaps the small camp a little bit faster. Looks like 1437 is just going to be stacking that up for him. There's going to be the stack, and Prax with the surge away as well, just for good measure. He's already up to level 2. He went straight into this camp and just jungled that up. So it looks like he might head down to bot lane in a little while, and that stack is actually for him, so just trying to get levels up on this Darkseer before maybe he goes bot. And I guess this is slightly more typical, I guess, of Western play, pooling things onto various heroes, trying to give certain heroes better early game starts. Not sure if we really see that from the Asian teams. They don't really tend to pool anyone any regen or pool any big items like a poor man's shield on the bounty hunter or a null talisman or something like that on the invoker. Up on top, Zhao is already up to level 2 since there's not all that much aggression. Again, there's not really any setup stuns for the Leshrac or anything like that, so he's fine to get a little bit of farm. Misery's off to the side. He does have that first smoke and hopefully going to be able to connect to that gank on mid. G's up to 5-0, and any melee sort of against Syllabear, it's going to have the bear sitting on his face the entire time, so a little bit unfortunate there. DDC actually just stacking up the Ancients for now, did get that off successfully, so banking up some XP for the Beastmaster later on in the game, and the rune does spawn up on top. That's Illusions for a 2-minute rune here. Not actually sure what the 0-minute rune was, and I should have kept tabs on that. That was a double damage for DDC as well. It didn't manage to make use of that. Brax is now headed down towards bot with the rank 2 Ion Shell and a point in Surge. So also a little bit tankier just from having those levels. But they do know that DDC was pulling a little bit. So it's only 2 heroes down on bot, though we did see a Shadow Demon and a Brewmaster successfully kill ROTK a bunch of times yesterday. So even a defensive duo lane can pose a threat to some offlaners, though. The slow from the Brewmaster clap isn't going to be the biggest deal with that search. It's only the leanest stun, and again, there's no easy setup since the Shadow Demon is all the way over here at the moment, just trying to stack up some more XP for Zhao 8. But he actually headed up towards the top, so not going to be able to get one more stack off. It's only 2 sets of the rock golems there. Man, this is the gank, level 1 on mid. Silo's actually quite close to his tower, moving forward a little bit aggressively there, still up on his high ground. G's looking for it here. This needs to be perfectly timed. Absolutely perfectly. Silo's just a little bit too far back. The creep wave's going to clash. G not actually opting to block there. Could have tried and forced the creep wave a little bit closer over here, but this is going to be the go regardless. There's the slow. Silo heading off to the side, looking to block a little bit with the bear, turning around onto the Ursa. They did need that clap, and looks like Misery was trying to send the Ursa home, but in the end not able to do so. So Sylar, good defensive play from him right now, and again, LGD.cn, the name of the game right now is just to try and buy time. Bide their time, try and hold out against LGD.int push, and then turn it around in the mid-game. Stun not connecting on anyone there, and the Dragon Slave flies through as well. 1437, center ward down, looking to take control of the Radiant jungle as well right now. Brax maybe in a little bit of trouble down on bot. Do they have the Soul Catcher? No, they do not. They do have the they do have the Light Strike Array. It's not going to connect. Badly timed by SC. The clap goes. Brax trying to surge himself away. The support coming in. Great stun. Salving up. Looks like he's going to be able to make it out. One more right click. Not enough. Didn't even need the Stout Shield block there. And DD missing that stun. Gonna be cursing that. Brax actually just gonna maybe shop up and then kill himself to some neutrals. So I guess getting back a little bit faster there. And look at this tornado. Yao is already down very, very low. He's gonna pop off the salve here, moving around, picking up his items. But in the end, still only the 1 kill going in favor of LGD China at the moment. And that's just a denied kill regardless, so no XP going their way. And this is already the push starting down on bot. The Wildkin is here to try and keep everyone in check. Brax, Misery, and 1437 trying to make a go of it. They've got 2 points up in the Edict, so it's quite a blatant push, but maybe just trying to force heroes down. And the Wildkin bonus armor aura being a big help as well in terms of this push. They've got 2 range creeps as well. The creep wave's a little way away. 1437 has now popped off the Edict, and the Wildkin just continuing to tank. Tier 1 dropping low. This is a little bit of space for the Beastmaster up on top. But LGD with 1 attempt managed to get quite a bit of health down, and SC not TPing in quite in time to get the stun on top of that disruption. So things just a little bit, well, looking a little bit rusty right now for LGD China, maybe feeling the pressure in this game right now. And Pycat finding some good farm up on top. It's probably going to be an early Vlad's for him, perhaps a Medallion as well. Again, Roshan probably going to be no problem for them as soon as they pick up that tier 1 on mid, which is going to be a fairly significant tower for them. I mean, it's going to mean that the Radiant lose control of their Ancients. It means that they lose a quick jump to the Roshan pit, which means that they can't really contest it, especially with the heavy pushing that's going to be happening from LGD.int right now. And stun on the bear, 147 is actually going to be able to pick up a good little play there, realizing that the bear would just steal that immediately. Or just deny it immediately if he revealed himself off before heading down onto the low ground. So just smart plays all around. Both teams playing fantastically. A little bit unfortunate for DD missing that stun. Did mean that they missed out on a kill on Brax. And they've got no tabs on anyone right now, so they've got the invis up on 147 and Misery moving into position again. Looks like that's a fresh Wildkin. Back up to full mana. He's got the tornado one more time. And oh, Miss Micros cancels the tornado. Oh, he's gonna be cursing that. It's such a long cooldown. I mean, it's not mana dependent like some of the other creeps. This is really unfortunate. The stun is gonna connect on one. There's the disruption, but looks like DD's gonna be taking a fall. The Brewmaster ultimate pops, and Zhao is here as well. So it's one trade in exchange, but G is here. There's the roar just in tower range. Brax dropping low from the Brewmaster ultimate. Still has a few seconds left. Good stun there. Looks like this may be one more kill picked up, and even using the backstab off of the Windwalk there. Great play by Yao. Now the turnaround on him, but he is quite tanky. And Zhao, one more set of axes is all he has in his arsenal. G not giving up just yet. There's the Void. Both of these strength heroes quite tanky and making it back to their tower for now. So as the dust settles, LGD still leading for one kill. Even trades going either way. And just having a quick check-in on who died there. So Brax did die again. We did see that he denied himself to neutrals earlier on. And each of the supports for LGD.cn. Misery is going to be spotted out by DDC, but he's going to be happy to just put down a ward, disrupt him, and then walk away. That's all he's got right now. And not sure what happened to that Shadow Poison, since it should have connected on the disruption there. Maybe a little bit unusual. Anyway, Brax is now farming up a little bit on mid. Would love to have a pair of boots. Misery getting quite close to some arcane boots or something like that. Do we have an early Bassi or something picked up for LGD.int? No, we do not. Though they do have the Vladimir for the bonus armor aura, so I don't necessarily need to grab one for that push. But still no towers taken by them just yet. We're getting around to 8 minutes. Not sure what the 8-minute rune was. Invis with our 6-minute rune. So somebody has bottled? No, okay, so maybe the bear denied it. I'm gonna go with that as my guess, since otherwise we would have a message in chat. So I guess not paying enough attention there. Sorry about that. Anyway, Yao is up top to try and slow down the push, but his ultimate's going to be on cooldown at least for a little while. So Pycat and Misery looking to go this as a duo, but the smoke is revealed. Misery now stuck in the disruption. Well, it's Pycat, in fact. The ultimate immediately pops off. There's no clap. There's the roar on Misery, taking some good damage. The clap finishes him off. Pycat trying to turn this around. Onto Zhao 8. The nuke coming through from the Satyr as well, and it's actually soaked up the Soul Catcher. A little bit lucky there. Zhao trying to juke and buy as much time as he possibly can. Brax has come in. G is here as well. There's the Void. LGD.int with a big turnaround. The one kill was found by LGD China there. And looks like it's going to be the first tower of the game as well, picked up by LGD International again. This is the push strategy. LGD China buying some good space for Sylar, who's now up to 2k gold. So the Radiance time, not the fastest in the world, but we are only 9 minutes into the game right now. And LGD.int, the tier 1 on bot is quite low, so they probably got their sights on that, but the tier 1 on mid is such a valuable prize, especially just to buy them safe access to their Roshan. But they do already have the Vlads finished up on Lycan, so they can look to go in there absolutely anytime. Chen creeps the tank, and then all of the damage from the Lycan Howl and the Wolves. And for now, I guess LGD.int, they don't really have any big team fight to fight around, so they don't have that to back up that aspect of the push. And they are fighting up against the Brewmaster ultimate, so they need to be aware of the cooldown on that. Wards for now still great and defensive for LGD, trying to keeping tabs on any access to their lanes and holding on to all of these important towers for now. This sort of God, I don't even know what the word that I'm looking for is, but these 4 towers do stay up for now. G's managed to find himself an Invis rune, but LGD China already forming up the Death Ball a little bit, realizing that they need to protect this lone dude. He needs to have the fastest Radiance of his entire life. G looking for pickoffs, but nobody's up on top looking for that farm. All of LGD are just hanging out, waiting for the push to start from LGD.int so they can try and turn it around. Everyone just hiding off to the trees, DDC just out of sight. So Sylar looks like a tempting target, but for now they do know at least that the Beastmaster is there. The Boars come in, and Pycat just happy to split push down on bot while everyone from LGD China is grouped up on mid. They've got a buckler finished up on Zhao, so he's actually heading towards a mech. The headrest looks like it's almost picked up as well. Looks like it's going to be a tier 1 picked up for them, maybe traded for the tier 1 down on bot. Looks like Pycat's going to be able to pick this one up. The fortification is available now. Pops, summons up the wolves. Look like those might be able to finish this off if he micros correctly. No, great deny from Zhao. That almost looks practice as well. The damage coming in just as the fortification ended. And it's even been a little bit unusual for people who, you know, sort of were used to being able to easily deny those towers. Even if someone had practiced it for ages, the 6.76 change to the glyph having 1 second longer does make it a little bit more difficult, and it has caught me out a few times just in terms of noticing that duration. The tornado's up this time and not cancelled by Misery. The push is starting on mid, and the edict is there with the Chen creeps to tank up. Zhao's going to reveal his presence, and 147 is actually quite tanky. Those 143, oh, those rank 4 axes from the Beastmaster chunking him pretty significantly. The bear is up on top, but there's no Radiant split push to be seen. Sylar up to 3.2 gold right now. Still no death for him just yet, and actually leading the way in terms of net worth. Looks like, yeah, he did actually manage to pick up that tower on mid. So even there, great little plays by LGD China. But Pycat says, no problem, I've got Medallion, I've got my Vlads, I'm going to head into the pit and pick up Rosh so that they've now got an Aegis and all of that bonus gold. Actually putting all of the XP on Pycat. Looks like G may have stuck around for a little bit there. And we don't really have any significant levels coming up for any of the other heroes. Would be nice to see the level 7 perhaps up on the Chen, since he could get 3 creeps from that. And then on bot, G just continuing to push a little bit. He has the darkness, but unfortunately the natural day not quite lining up perfectly with the timing on their push, and they need to make a decision right now. I mean, they can take a team fight, perhaps 1 or 2 with the darkness, but that extends extends how far away the next nighttime is. But they definitely want to try and make use of that Aegis on Pycat. So that's a little bit of a, I guess, a decision that they need to make at the moment. For now, LGD.int just trying to outmaneuver, going down towards bot though. As I guess the space gets a little bit smaller for LGD China, it is easier to walk from lane to lane, try and counter these pushes off. We do have that rank 2 Brewmaster ultimate up. He's almost got a very, very fast blink finished up as well, just maybe considering going for the neutrals. Now it's a little bit indecisive, heading back. Looks like LGD.int are all grouped up immediately onto the tower. The Edict doing some good damage as well. They don't have the best counter pushers in the world, and the Medallion doing some great damage to the bear. Last hit actually picked up there by Pycat's wolf. So LGD trying to let one more tower fall by the wayside, maybe just waiting for this Brewmaster blink to try and initiate these fights, since they don't really have any other big initiator to speak of. LGD.int gonna say, we're fine with that, give us as much time as you want, we're gonna head down and take even more towers. Having a quick look at the XP and gold, since I don't think I've checked in on that at all this game. 5k the XP swing right now in favor of LGD.int, and 4k gold in their hands as well. We've got an urn picked up this time around for 1437, something that I was interested to see that we didn't see on any heroes in that last game too. And again, they're not really fighting up against the Invoker EMP or anything like that, so the mana boots aren't as important as they were last game. Looks like Misery is just heading towards a very fast mech as opposed to anything else to try and keep these pushes rolling. And G just going to be an early BKB for him. Yao's going to find the stomp. There's the roar as well. G in big trouble. The follow-up stun from SC should get there. Hand of God trying to keep him alive for now. Pops up the darkness. Great stun. Looks like G's actually going to make his escape here. Unfortunately, they didn't have that Laguna Blade, just 11 XP away. Didn't have enough mana regardless. G will be able to escape. Pycat solo pushing up on top. Lycan, this is what he's renowned for. This is what we're known for. There's the disruption, and there's the stomp as well. SC looking for that stun. It does connect. This time around, Pycat forced to pop the ultimate, trying to turn around into DDC, picks up that kill, and now we'll just be running off into the sunset. So things turned around a little bit on LGD China's head right there. And it's just split pushing galore right now for LGD.int. We do have the Relic now finished up for Sylar, so he's going to have the Radiance quite soon, and a lucky Entangle on Brax, going to be able to get a little bit of damage. But there's one Centaur stomping there, and a second Centaur stomp, and the third Centaur stomp. They want this bear dead in a big way, the nuke as well. It's going to back off for now. But perfect there. So Pycat continues to farm a little bit up on top. How long do they have left with that Aegis? About 2 minutes. So maybe just waiting around for the BKB and the natural knight for G. Fortunately, he didn't die in that gank. Misery maybe a little bit out of position. There's a smoke through. Is there going to be a roar? Chopping down those trees, looking for the positioning. Is this his creep? Yes, it is. He's got the stomp. If his micro is up to it, might be able to deny this double damage as well. Well played by Misery there. And was able to make his escape. Still holding on to his gold for now, a little bit interestingly. Could have a few of those mech components finished up already. And speaking of mech, Zhao 8 almost has his finished up. Again, it's going to be a big help in these team fights. And the big turnaround for them is going to be as soon as that Radiance is online for Salo. They've done a great job of freeing up enough space for him. So it hasn't been the same level of aggressive push from LGD.int just with the pickoffs. And even just smart play by them, denying farm to LGD China. Looks like they just left one Mud Golem behind there. And anything that they can do to slow down that Radiance is going to be good news for them. Yao up on top. They would love to force out that Brewmaster ultimate, but looks like he's going to be able to escape and probably get up to level 11 before he's forced to use that. Actually moving forward aggressively in 1-4-3-7, looking to punish this right now. He's just off to the side, just slightly out of sight. The creep's moving forward. He's going to continue to hide. And again, maybe just looking to turn around aggression and perhaps misplaced aggression from LGD China. So Sylar, we need to keep very, very close tabs on him. This Radiance is the big timing push for them. We'll see how afraid they're feeling once they manage to finish up this Radiance. We've seen a few teams, and we saw it yesterday with DK. They finished up the Radiance. They had such a huge boost in effectiveness from picking that up. I mean, Radiance is probably one of the most overpowered items in the game, just in terms of its effect. But as soon as they finished it, they didn't group up, they didn't look for the push or anything like that. They just sat back, waited for the AC. The supports fell behind in terms of farm, and ForLove caught up with them. So hopefully LGD China are going to feel bold enough to try and make something happen as soon as they got this Radiance finished up. And the rank 2 ultimate on the Brewmaster as well, not all that far away. He's actually taking the farm for now, since the Radiance is finished up. This is a good opportunity right now for LGD. Again, to try and turn things around, to try and grab up a few of these tier 1s, get themselves back onto slightly more even footing. And you have to give them the edge in these team fights unless LGD.int are significantly more farmed. The Radiance Bear doing some good split pushing for now, though it can be focused down quite well between the, well, with the damage on LGD.int, the Medallion doing a big help as well. And LGD China, TP's all heading towards towers right now to try and defend. Yao is actually down on bot and he's revealed himself off, though LGD.int aren't in any position to try and punish that. They've got the BKB finished up for G. It's a 10-second BKB. They're probably just waiting for Natural Night right now. So the Aegis probably has expired on Pycat. Yeah, it has. So that's the next timing. G's got the rank 2 ultimate up right now. As soon as that night starts, expect him to pop the darkness. They're going to head into the Roshan pit as soon as that's up. And then maybe from there, look to go for a little bit of a push. It does buy the Brewmaster enough time to get rank 2 up in that ultimate. And again, we did see that Radiance up. LGD trying to do have a few minutes here before night, before Roshan respawns, where they can try and take a few sneaky tier 1s. I don't think LGD.int will try and man up and defend all that much, especially with the Brewmaster ultimate always there as a threat. But looks like LGD China just playing extremely defensively for now. And now Night settles in. Night Stalker spreads his wings, immediately pops the darkness, wants to keep this one going as long as he possibly can, and hopefully find a Rax or something like that in the duration of this nighttime. Looks like it might be a sneaky tier 2 picked up by this lone wolf up on top. The fortification pops. So looks like it might in the end be a deny. The wolf just hiding out of true sight range. For now, is it actually in deny range? No, it's not. So I guess good play there by Pycat. We've got a smoke right now for LGD.int heading down towards bottom lane. And LGD.cn are split up a little bit. They're managing to hold on to their tier 2s for now with well-coordinated, well-informed TPs, but the silence is going to be on Yao. It's a rank 2 silence. There's the Void, holding on to the silence for now. They just want to force out the Brewmaster ultimate, but in the end, defensive disruption buys them enough time to blink out. I guess Yao called their bluff a little bit, realizing that they might not be able to kill him. They had the defensive disruption, and they would have loved to have forced out that Brewmaster ultimate. It's one opportunity for LGD China to try and contest things at the Roshan. But then they do have sight there at the moment as well, with 2 observer wards. But we'll ignore that for now. Not quite sure what was happening. But I guess that'll take a very long time for LGD.int to deward. We've now got a mech finished up for Misery. Brax would love to take this tower solo. The top tower is still, again, just outside of deny range. And Pycat's actually up on top. We've got a BKB 10-second charge there for him. G, Invis Rune hiding down on bot. They're looking for Sylar. Support is just a few seconds away, but the Shadow Demon is the one that they really need. Unfortunately, Lone Druid. Well, unfortunately for LGD.int, unfortunately for LGD.int, fortunately for LGD China, the Lone Druid is just so tanky with even just the rank 2 Druid form picked up. And yeah, looking for pickup here. He's going to go for the blink. Immediately pops the ultimate. 1437 trying to make it out. If he had to smoke, might have been able to pop it there. Going to be sent back to base. In fact, this is what LGD.int were looking for. They forced the Brewmaster ultimate, and LGD China just don't find anything. Brax is smoked up as well, so even if the Brewmaster is able to chase forward with that Storm Spirit, won't be able to find anyone. And that's a great signal for LGD International right now, to just try and pick up these remaining 2-2s and then go into the Roshan pit, who hasn't respawned just yet. Tower is destroyed. Yao trying to do what he can. There's a roar on Pycat as well. He does have that ultimate, however, so it looks like he's going to be fine to just run the hell away. And going to kill the boar for good measure. A much needed crit there. SC's going to fall down on bot. G popping off that 10-second BKB charge. Looks like he's not done. Void on DDC. He does have the disruption. Turns around for the purge. Pops out the stick charges. Now silenced up. Makes it back up onto his high ground. But the tower's going to be taking a fall. G might just hold the creeps off for a second. No, tower I guess just a little bit too healthy to be killed off by the edict there. With one dead, looks like LGD.int going to be fine to pick up this remaining tier 2. There is one still up on mid, fairly healthy as well. Pycat's already in the pit, so LGD.int can just posture here for now. And yeah, Pycat's going to be fine to finish that up. He's a little bit low on mana. G's going to come in just for the assist and pick up a little bit more XP as well. Again, more points in the Crippling Fear are going to be a big help in locking down the Brewmaster. With an 8-second silence, even the defensive disruption isn't going to be enough to make sure that he gets that ultimate off reliably. Which means that A, he can't stomp right after a blink, which means that during the Panda split duration, there is the potential to send someone back, things like that. And that all in all, he just needs to play more defensively with that ultimate. Fast fingers from the Night Stalker, and I mean, Yao being a little bit greedy, trying to go for the stomp before the split, could spell his death, and that could be bad news for LGD China. So, Yao, he's 35 seconds away from that ultimate right now. LGD, they've got the pipe picked up on the Darkseer, they've got the mech, they've got the full arsenal of items that they would love to have to head up onto the high ground. They've got a gem, they've got an urn, they've got a Vlad's, they've got absolutely everything that they could want. They've got an Aegis, they've got one 10-second BKB, one 9-second BKB, and an all-enveloping darkness right now as well. G just solo pushing a little bit up on top, and Sylar still farming up for now. No deviations from the standard item build whatsoever. Still just going towards that AC. Will be a big help against the Medallion minus armor and just all of the right click from LGD.int at the moment, who are just sort of circling around the map right now, trying to find perhaps a pickoff. We've still got great warding down from LGD. They've got tabs on every single entrance to their jungle. They've got mid, they've got the river covered, and they've got bot. So unless there's a smoke from LGD.int, they should be fine to stay safe. And they do still have this tier 2 down on bot for now. So keeping that defensive lineup fantastically, though they did invest a few obs, and with that gem picked up, they're going to be dewarded quite quickly. G pops the Night Off one more time. Could be heading towards another item quite soon. Might expect to see an Assault Curious from him, or perhaps the Lycan. Again, the minus armor going to be a big help in terms of right click, and helps bring down these towers as well. Worth noting that the composite damage from the Leshrac Edict is going to be amplified a little bit by that minus armor. The bear just solo holding for now. LGD not looking to commit. Looks like they just want the wolves to try and finish this one off. G wants the tower. Can he get it? And in the end, Pycat mans up and does pick that one up. So it's even more gold in their hands. Speaking of gold, we'll have a quick check of the gold graph right now, heading out to about 10k in favor of LGD.int. Similar story for the XP. How many levels do we have up on Lena? Not quite that level 2 Laguna Blade, not quite level 2 Purge for DDC, though he doesn't really need it. A little bit interesting, opted for the max Shadow Poison build. Does help out in terms of these defensive fights. He's going to be able to get a lot of spam off when they're just fighting from their high ground. But it doesn't really bode well. It means they don't really think that they have the burst damage to bring someone down just with the Soul Catcher. And what's 1437 farmed? We saw that gem. That is his gem, I believe. Yeah, that's his gem. So that's where most of his farm has been going at the moment. And LGD.cn, I mean, they just sacrificed so much farm on the supports to get it up on Sylar, but even with the Radiance, not sure if it's going to be making the difference in this game. And LGD.int, say hello to the Radiant Ancient stack. They're going to be cleaning that up quite quickly. This might be a minor opportunity. The bear comes forward for the scout. One lucky entangle could spell a few kills here. And vacuum back. Yao's looking for the ultimate. He gets stunned out. There's a silence. It's not going to be a Brewmaster ultimate. Defensive disruption is going to buy him some time, but again, the crippling fear just has such a long duration. There's the kill. Pycat, BKB, ultimate. Now the buyback from Yao does have that up. SC juking well for now. Looks like he's going to be able to escape. Pycat turning around on the bear. The Hand of God pops up as well. Now the Brewmaster Spirit's doing work. Pycat drops low, but he does have that Aegis available, juking back for now, and Pycat still alive. Somehow does finally take a fall to that Radiance. Burn damage, the Brewmaster ultimate not going to be lasting all that much longer. Misery, the next target, entangled up. Looks like he will fall. Yao with one more stomp picking up that kill. Brax still looking for action. Tanking the tower a little bit there. G turns around. Yao still trying to man up. Pycat trying to make his escape as well. And that Lycan ultimate, just such a low cooldown, gets into that one more time. But great team fight from LGD.int, and the Brewmaster ultimate, again, that 8-second crippling fear, forced Yao to use the buyback in the end. So as the dust settles, it's 6 kills in favor of LGD International, though not a bad team fight for LGD.cn. They committed a lot to make it work. And for now, LGD.int, they're just going to back off into mass farming positions. G is taking the Radiant jungle. Pycat's taking care of these Ancients. We've got one here on mid, that's Brax. And then 1437 is just farming up the Dire jungle a little bit as well. It looks like it's going to be a BKB for 1437 with that Ogre Club picked up. Going to be a little bit of a help there in terms of these team fights. And 5 minutes away for Roshan for LGD.int right now. So Aegis and Cheese is there, though we're going to get into the natural day quite soon. Would be nice, well, would have been nice for G to have that rank 3 darkness up with level 16, but not quite there just yet. Yeah, we're going to be farming up the Ancients a little bit. He's going to be heading towards a BKB. In fact, the medallion up. Here's the clap. Looks like Pycat's going to be able to pick up this kill. There's a disruption, the stun. A little bit of panic there. And DDC, great stun. One from 1437. The wall pops as well. Not sure if they needed it. 2 kills going the way of LGD.int, and this might be their opportunity to push up. And who's got buyback? Nobody relevant. Everyone who has buyback is alive right now, so it's going to be at least a tier 2 picked up, and this might be LGD.int's opportunity to head up onto the high ground. And 147 just coming in with such a sneaky stun from mid. Great play there. The pipe pops. This is the commit. The fortification pops to try and hold it on for now. The AC is up. Yao going forward aggressively, but immediately silenced. Fast fingers from G. He's got a Reaver picked up. Doesn't really care about the Radiance burn right now. There's a disruption as well. Pycat just going to work on the tower. The stun connects. That time it's now daytime. Well, that time, daytime. G's going to have to back off, at least for a little bit. Misery is surged away. So LGD, hold on for now. They do have that Brewmaster ultimate. Blinks in, doesn't want to be silenced. G's going to be sent back to base. 147 going for the TP. He's going to make it. Can Brax do the same? Oh, wow. LGD.int. Great play by them. Everyone escapes. The Brewmaster ultimate pops. And in the end, just great for them. They don't manage to pick up the tier 3. It's down in deny range. But managing to get that Brewmaster ultimate on cooldown with nobody dying is such a huge boon. Roshan's going to be about 4 minutes away. Maybe another opportunity there for LGD China. But these Brewmaster ultimates have just been so unfortunate. And almost a Heart of Tarrasque picked up for G right now. He's just getting so tanky. I don't think the damage over on LGD China is going to be catching up with him anytime soon. Misery's got that mech finished up. 1437 still valiantly holding on to that gem, denying LGD China any semblance of map control right now. It's very defensive warding for them. Just trying to get whatever farm they can, still finding whatever they can on the map. But LGD.int definitely out farming right now. Having a quick look at the farm, it's over 14k gold in favor of the Dire and 15k XP as well. Buyback's now coming online for the Leshrac, and the Chen, the middle tower, is going to be denied. I'll switch over to net worth since there's not all that much else to show for now. Center ward's going to go down, so good reaction from LGD. They're still making all the right moves despite their disadvantageous position. And LGD.int might just stay here until Roshan is up. maybe send Pycat back to try and solo that up with everyone being distracting here, though they do know that the Brewmaster ultimate is on cooldown. And for another minute, here's the darkness. This is going to be a commit. This might be one Rax. LGD.cn don't have that big ultimate to fall back on. The spam begins, but the creeps are going to be able to at least perhaps make it up onto the high ground. The vacuum goes down. Zal's caught out of position. This is really, really bad. The mech pops for him, trying to make it out, but looks like Brax is going to be able to pick up that kill. The wall drops as well. LGD.int now moving over towards mid. G is just coming in. BK beat up. Nothing to stop him. No lucky entangles. They're on the Rax. Pycat in that ultimate as well, and the AC doing some good work. Yao comes forward, but immediately silenced. Again, it is a full nighttime silence. He doesn't even have that ultimate regardless. And the bear trying to man up on 1437 right now. LGD, they are suffering. LGD.int, they're suffering the burn. They didn't actually manage to pick up the rack, so no big commitment there. And how long? Well, actually, they didn't have enough mana for the Hand of God. So they're going to be happy to back off for now. The Brewmaster ultimate's going to be off cooldown in just a second. And Roshan's going to be there in about a minute. So, yeah, it's now just getting vacuumed down onto the low ground. I mean, oldest trick in the book, just a little bit unfortunate for him. And I mean, LGD.int, the only site they really had up on the high ground was going to be perhaps Wolves or something like that. So, LGD.cn, they're going for something ballsy now. They know that they have the Brewmaster ultimate. Obviously, they know that. And they know that Roshan is going to be up in just a second, so they're heading that way. Not sure if they're going to be able to pick it up before LGD.int suspect anything. And what's it going to be? All of LGD.int moving towards the pit as well. G has a very lucky invis rune right now. Oh, and the trees are going to be cut down. It's going to be a vacuum up into the high ground. Yao's looking to take this engagement, gets the stomp off on 147. Now the ultimate, but 147 not quite sent back to base in time. Misery not able to get that one off, and he doesn't have any mana either. Pycat comes forward. They're just trying to kite the Brewmaster ultimate, but a great roar from Zap does connect, trying to keep Pycat alive. For now, the wall is dropped. Pycat gets into that BKB. This is not a good team fight for LGD.int. Brax now entangled in the middle of his own wall. BKB's up, and that bear still just chasing him for now. 1437 going to work. G with a double kill. Now turning this around. 2 dead on LGD China. We saw 147 obviously use that buyback. Sylar dropping low. The axes fly through, so 147 bites the dust one more time, but an ultra kill for G. And 2 gems on the ground. 2 eyes for Misery right now. Roshan respawns, but LGD.int with everyone alive should be able to pick up the racks and then perhaps go back for Roshan right now. So this is looking pretty bad. Who's got buyback? It's only SC who is alive, and Zhao has it as well, but just looking to push out top, maybe secure the tier 1. Not a whole lot that they can do to defend their racks at the moment. And the Brewmaster ultimate is on cooldown, so that ace in the hole isn't going to be there. For them either. Sylar still 20 seconds away, so LGD.int, I guess maybe getting a little bit greedy, are going to head down towards bot. DDC now silenced and slowed up, and G, perfect timing on that BKB, dodging the stun from DD there. They want the second tower. The fortification pop. Sylar's going to be up quite soon, but they don't have their full strength. Pipe maybe a little bit premature there from LGD.int. No real damage to follow it up. And looks like they're just going to back off for now again. They're out of darkness. It's 30 seconds away till the next one. And Roshan is back up, so that's where they've got their sight set. Yeah, it's going to be able to get the slow off on Misery. G gets the silence, however. And here's the turnaround. The nuke as well. The mech pops. Good vacuum back. And the stun as well from SC Connect. But Yao dropping low. The medallion goes back for a second as well, maybe looking for one last stomp. Misery's going to be killed off there. Great, 2-man stun from 1437. Zhao drops low. He's killed off. There's a buyback from Yao. How close is that ultimate? 30 seconds there. The bear still trying to fight as best he can. DDC's going to be slowed up. Brax entangled. Looks like he's going to be taking a fall. Stun from 147, not comboed with that vacuum. And still kills just going either way. The battle of the beefy heroes right now. Pycat jukes away. The Radiance Burn still just doing a lot of damage. BKB pops from G. 147 trying to do what he can, but again, that Radiance is bringing him low. And the double gem that was there from Misery now going to be picked up for Sylar. So it looks like it might actually be Rush going in favor of LGD China right now. And yeah, LGD.cn turn it around. They've got the Brewmaster ultimate off cooldown. Sylar's going to head down into the pit. And did they kill off one of those gems, or did someone else just pick one up? Not sure. They actually drop a sentry despite having a gem. So I guess that's just a little bit reactionary there. And everyone from LGD.int is going to be respawning quite soon, so LGD China not feeling safe enough to head into the pit. In fact, they want the rest of their heroes up. They've got a Vlad's finished up for Zao, so that's helping keep the Bears, well, the Bears plural, online, but LGD.int. They're ready into the pit, and it's an Aegis and Cheese going their way right now. LGD.cn just playing extremely cautiously. I mean, they had a minor advantage, might not have been able to capitalize on it. However, since there are easy TP towers available for LGD.int to just jump into that pit. And again, they can just chop down the trees up here, vacuum everyone out of the pit straight into the wall, and then completely wipe it. NS is going to pick up the Cheese, and it's an Aegis for Pycat right now. He's got a Sacred Relic picked up. Might see him go for an Abyssal Blade in just a second. And Natural Night is still a ways away, but G's going to have that Darkness off cooldown in just a second as well. So it looks like it's just going to be a man up and push for LGD.int down on bot. I mean, the previous pushes, they were in a good position. Now they're probably in a great position. I mean, Sylar is farmed, the Bear is doing good damage, but in the end, LGD.int maybe just surviving a little bit too long. The lifesteal helping keep these two beefy heroes of the Lycanthrope and the Night Stalker alive. And for now, LGD group up, I guess, for one last stand down on bot. Unfortunately, Yao not quite up to level 16, so they're not going to have the full strength of those pandas to back them up. And this is the group up for LGD.int. This is going to be probably the game-deciding team fight, though LGD.int do still have layers of defense. If things go badly here, the Shadow Poison spam is going to come through, cleaning up the creep wave, forcing LGD.int to probably commit the pipe to make it up onto the high ground, which means that the full duration isn't going to be there to try and soak up stuns or soak up any AoE damage. For example, the Radiance. So LGD China, they're waiting for now. They're using the board to scout. It's going to be killed off by the Wolves. Got a ward down there from Misery. He's heading towards a Hex. Here's a pipe. This is the go. Up onto the high ground. The Bear is slowed down. Not sure they're going to try and kill it off. Maybe just a little bit too tanky for them, but they do have the AC and the Medallion to try and help them out. The Centaur stomps. They want this Bear. They want it dead. Yao comes in with the stomp. G's going to pop off that ultimate. Can he get the silence on Yao? Trying to turn around now, but doesn't have any sight up onto the high ground. No wards there or any creeps for LGD.int. And Misery in the end just going to deny off his own Centaur. So LGD.int, hold on for now. They have used that Darkness, so it is a little bit of a limited window for them. And the pipe is on cooldown. Mech and Hand of God both used as well. Here's the silence on Yao. That's going to be on cooldown for at least a little bit, so he might be able to go for the blink and clap in just a second, keeping tabs on the cooldown of that Night Stalker ultimate, on the Night Stalker silence. Sorry. And now backs off. LGD.int, how long away is the pipe? Only 6 seconds. That's probably going to be the deciding factor in this next push. They're going to Wild Incinerator up as well. The incidental damage cannot be ignored. Here's the pipe going straight up onto the high ground. Probably going to be looking to put some damage on this tier 3. Yao goes for the clap. Doesn't make it into the ultimate. He's silenced. He's stunned. Looks like he's going to die. The defensive disruption keeping him alive for now. Just switching over to Buyback's head just to see if he has anything available. Does manage to make it out. Pycat's dropping low. G trying to man up against the Bear. But looks like LGD trying to hold on for now. And everyone actually dropping low there over on LGD.int. They've got a few earn charges and things like that on 1437 to top everyone off. But good defensive team fight from LGD China. And I guess it's really easy to script out in this sort of situation. You keep your supports all the way back here. There's nothing that's really going to pick them off from LGD.int. They can afford to send Yao forward at least a little bit aggressively, since the defensive disruption can always be there to back him up. So for now, Yao looks like he's going to get all the XP down in this bottom lane. They want that rank 3 Brewmaster ultimate up as quickly as they possibly can. And do they still have that gem picked up on Sylar? Yes, they do. So able to deny sort of this aggressive sight from LGD.int. Though gem's still a little way away from being able to kill that off. And I mean, that gem is actually making a difference. If LGD.int have had a ward sort of up here in the base, just outside of range of the tower's true sight, then maybe they could have made, some more happen in that fight. For now, Misery's just going to continue farming up towards his Hex. He is quite a ways away. And looks like they might just wait around until the next natural night. Pycat does still have that Aegis, so he might be eager to use that within the next 2 minutes. And looks like they will be able to at least take out the tier 3 with one more commit. Well, not even a committal, but one more push up onto the high ground down on bot. Though Yao still extreme patience holding onto that ultimate for now. So down on bot. This is the push one more time from LGD.int. Can they make it happen this time around? They've got the pipe, they've got the mech, they've got everything off cooldown, they've got pretty much full mana on everyone. Here's the natural knight. G is going to make sure that this is, well, hopefully looking to make sure that this is the last knight that the Radiant side ever see. And the Void harassing the bear down a little bit. They've popped the pipe maybe a little bit prematurely here. Yao's going to go forward for the clap. Pycat stunned up. They get the vacuum down as well, but the stun not quite combo perfectly from 157. They kill off the bear. Almost. Pycat wants that thing dead. And in the end, it will take a fall. So now resummoned, a minor victory for LGD.int without committing anything just yet. They do still have that Aegis and the cheese. The stun not connecting quite right from TD, but it does keep everyone zoned off. For now, they've got the Frost Ogre doing what it can, and Wildkin Tornado still just doing damage throughout. But LGD.int, are they going to try and wait around for that pipe one more time, perhaps? And looks like that might just be what they're waiting for. Mech and Hand of God still both available. No big cooldowns being waited for. They would love to kill Yao. They would love to try and force out that Brewmaster Ultimate. He doesn't have buyback for 90 gold. Here goes the Brewmaster Ultimate and a great two-man stun. The Roar on top of G as well. Pycat trying to do what he can. He's going to work on the supports. The wall is down as well. DD and DDC. DDC managing to hide in the disruption for now. Xiao 8 now the target. Pycat doesn't actually have the Aegis anymore. Waited a little bit too long. Right-clicking as best he can. But looks like this might be a little bit overwhelming for LGD.int. We've got buybacks available. Yao still team fighting as best he can. Sylar doesn't actually have buyback. So it looks like LGD.int are going to make it up onto the high ground with only one death. Pycat just going to head up towards top with that buyback pushing out. The wall is still down, at least for a little bit. But looks like the melee barracks at least going to take a fall. And just popping off the Howl as well to try and bring it down that little bit faster. So Pycat's buyback not wasted at all. So that's bot racks completely cleared up. LGD going to be respawning soon, but the GG in the end is going to be called by Zhao. So that's going to be game 3, and in the end, the set goes to LGD.int. Well played by them. Great push strategy. I think even just a little bit outdrafted. I mean, they managed to ban out the Cardinal, they banned out all of the big counter pushers, and showing that they have a great reaction to deal with the Syllabear. Not all that afraid of him. Even with the Radiance picked up, it helped slow down the push, but LGD China just couldn't ever really turn it around to being in their favor. I mean, they managed to pick up a few towers, but the tier 1 on bot, a tower that we would normally expect the Dire to lose early on in the game, still stands right at the end. So anyway, I'll wait around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs, but that's it for our Dota 2 action today. For G League, we've still got tons of games coming up for this tournament, so stay tuned for more of that. Remember that you can buy the ticket in-game to support this tournament. And I guess other reminders that there are other casters covering this game, so if you don't enjoy my coverage, then do the players justice, do the tournament justice. You can either check out LD, who I believe for these games co-casted with Winter over on the Beyond the Summit channel, or Toby, who was casting over on the Join Dota channel. They should both have their own VODs up quite soon as well. So anyway, that's going to be game. Again, this is G League. As always, I am Basket bringing you guys these games. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. And yeah, I hope to see you guys around in future broadcasts. Thanks, everyone.